and stay young.
Hell no.
Yeah. It's a young man's game. I'm not going to
They beat us.
might be lying.
To the Bishop.
Did he die right?
There's 2 D tackles.
Your life?
Hell no. But they paid him.
I got the copyright band on my YouTube for playing that soundbite.
If we live right now, you catching a real.
I made a segment called. What's that?
But they're not. You wouldn't be able to get a young D tackle without having to pay him.
I made a sign yet.
So
I did that. Ask him about the eyes of the law.
yeah, we live. So check your their whole team was young. So they're not paying anybody.
This is gonna be a real raw.
Let me go build from the drive.
Live.
Yeah,
Go pay for the whole
We good. So the name is Law Nation Sports. I got a group of guys that's gonna talk some Cowboys information from day 2 of the practice out here in the star in Frisco. Well, we're gonna let the new guests get introduced first. Lando, man, let people know who you are, where you're from. Like I said, it's mostly the deal.
We just lost the young team.
But I'm gonna let Ray go first. Let Ray go first, and then why he gonna set up.
Baby, what he do, baby. Live from Frisco at the Army. You know, you see the little field outside the Ford Arena there. We just finished up wrapping up a practice. Day 2 here in Frisco, Texas. Real quick, make sure y'all like and subscribing. Do that shit right now. Subscribing for my page. Subscribe. All these brothers right here. They doing great. Like, subscribe, follow. Also, make sure you follow these crosstalk episodes we'll be doing. There's me, Law, and myself, and we talk about different content creators. We'll be doing our damn thing, talking all things Dallas Cowboys with all these people. I know I'm long-winded right now, but man, I gotta say shout out to my boy Boss Cowboy right here. Shout out to my boy Law Nation. Shout out to my boy right here, baby. We doing this goddamn thing.
And let them do their intro, man. Come on, man. Boss Cowboys Sports. Let people know who you are, man.
Yeah, we're Boss Cowboy Sports, man, and this is a tradition that I've grown accustomed to love. Because in this tradition, this is the end. This is the literal ending of us talking about off-season. We are officially, after today, into the season. So enough of the talk about cuts, enough of the talk about draft, enough of the talk about Zeke,
signing CD,
all of that's over. We're officially starting to move into the real meat of what we all work so hard for. That's the season. So I'm real excited about this time, and I love doing this part of the year.
I love it, man. Now, let's go with Lando, man. You ready?
We're live over here.
He ready.
I was getting set up. Apologies once again. I told these guys I didn't know I was going to be blessed with the ability to have this opportunity today. So the microphone was left at home. I thought I was coming here for an hour and leave. I should have. Hey, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Maybe I'll keep that in mind a little bit next time. Okay.
You stay ready, man. Get ready.
That's right. Stay ready.
I got one for you. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have the opportunity and not be prepared. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yeah. We get to going now, baby.
You want to take that a step further?
Yeah.
We could say, just from the athlete's perspective. Oh, there we go over here too. Now that might be better. I hope they can hear me okay. If not, you'll be able to see this all on YouTube at Laws Nation. I'm pretty sure Law Nation, not Laws Nation.
Law Nation on social media.
Is on Twitter.
Yes,
Boss over here, my guy Ray right here. You guys, you know where to find me. All my booths right next to me right here.
Yeah. Let's get it.
Yeah. So, hey, we were just talking about the preparation, right? Athletes don't rise to the level of the occasion. They fall to the level of their preparation. So, hey, here we go. We tied it all. Put a ball on that. My name's Orlando. For those who don't know me, I sort of found my lane with short form content. Sort of tried to stay there. The original passion, first and foremost, was long form YouTube stuff, in depth, and God had, he kind of closed that door for me initially. I was playing baseball, and then I found out that my wife was pregnant with my firstborn daughter, and so things change, and your plans change, right? Ultimately, God's plan is always greater.
Girl dad.
I found that mission. Girl dad times 2 now. So pray for me. I found a newfound love and a mission just to use my platform to to bring my passions to life, right? Obviously, be a mouthpiece, for lack of a better term, for a fan base that truly deserves to get away from all the fake take sports media out there. Hear the truth. It's a passionate fan base that deserves to hear it. But then, on top of that, I just want to use this platform as best as I possibly can, just to glorify.
You doing a great job
being the king of the man.
Right. Stand tall or not at all, man. That's a good message right there.
Right?
So that's it. What we got? Let's get to
All
business.
right, so there was some surprise cuts. I didn't get a chance to talk to these two about the surprise cuts. And then there was practice. So, and then there were some guys that got picked up on a practice squad elsewhere.
Right.
So, which one of y'all want to tackle that first?
Lead us off.
I think my biggest surprise cut, but I understand it now, Carl Lawson, when they cut him. But essentially they got him back
Right.
the practice squad, so really can't count that as a cut. That was one. Justin Rogers.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of surprised on that. I thought they were going to add him, but it makes sense. You added Lawson, you added Phillips, Linville Joseph. There wasn't enough spots for him.
Right.
But I thought he was going to clear waivers and come back on his team somehow. Unfortunately, Cincinnati claimed him off of waivers.
Right.
Other cuts that really surprised me. Royce Freeman, yes and no. I was 50-50 on Royce Freeman.
Right.
50-50 on Eric Scott Jr. He was always one of my bubble players. If you go back and watch crosstalk, I've been saying like Eric Scott Jr. was a bubble cat. For the fact they traded for Andrew Booth. When you trade for a player, he's going to get more leeway than someone, year two.
And no representation in his corner this year.
Exactly.
Anymore, right?
Different regime.
Gone.
Different regime is gone. Exactly.
Nobody fighting for you.
Other than that, man, okay, maybe Josh Ball.
Joshua Ball, but he
According to PFF.
he back on the practice.
He's on the practice squad, but according to
PFF.
PFF.
According to PFF. I don't know if you like PFF, he's a high-graded player. That says enough.
You all right with me, Ray?
Right now, man, there's at least 5 people in the comment section that is just typing Wood with the 17 exclamation points.
Wood. Yeah.
Wood.
They go Wood right there.
So that was
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
that probably surprised people just as much as anything, I would say.
Yeah.
But keeping 4 tight ends, right? That's the ultimate
That was
a shocker. Yeah.
lowest hanging fruit. Maybe if we're talking about being upset about Mr. Wood, you might want to look at the $250,000 man himself, Brendan Stanford.
Ford,
They didn't, say what you want, but maybe some politics in play there as far as just the financial situation, right?
Yeah.
They want to see that.
Sure, they gave him all that
We
money.
show you the money.
Show me the money.
Being an unrestricted football being
Yeah, so I got my guy, Boss Cowboys Sports, man. He's in the shadows over here. He quiet over here, man. He just observing, getting all of this good information. What you got for him, Boss?
No, I'm okay with being quiet. So the topic was surprise cuts.
Surprise.
I can't say I was surprised at all. Because the funny thing, it was a lot of fighting about Freeman and he get cut. Like, oh my God, like what we doing?
A little louder, boss.
But it's the fact that I knew Freeman was gonna likely get cut because I had to just think back to our history. We don't do outside free agents well. We don't and I don't believe we really give those guys a fair chance. It's more so because I believe Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones are really trying to develop the draft guys. So free agents are never going to get their first shake in Dallas, in my opinion, even when they look like they're deserving of it. But I still wouldn't say I was surprised. So yeah, no surprises from the cuts at all.
Well, when I digest all of the things that they were able to do with the cuts, I look at it like we went heavy with running backs, we went heavy with tight ends. What do that spell? Run the ball. Physicality.
But that also,
Go ahead.
And also people movers up front in the draft.
Oh yeah. 3 tight ends they drafted. Three offensive linemen they drafted.
And a people moving tight end too. Brendan Stanford, like that's a body type that's different than any other tight end on the roster right now.
So what this
265 pounds.
what this says is Mike McCarthy. If I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down my way. Let me go down swinging and fighting. I'm gonna bring physicality to the team. On top of that, do you remember?
Dalvin Cook too.
Do you remember Mike McCarthy getting fined for practicing too hard? Remember, he had to pull back some stuff so that he won't get fined. So he may say to himself, you guys keep calling us soft, you guys keep calling us weak, timid. This is about to be a situation that in the scenario that we're going to exemplify power. When we get down to the 1 yard line, 2 yard line,
Let's go, Zeke.
With that cantankerous head,
Let's go,
balls
Zeke.
if necessary. He's going to be able to dive down in there and get that touchdown because that's what he do.
First in red zone efficiency 2 years ago, yeah?
Yeah.
And then last year back to the middle of the pack.
Preach, y'all. Preach.
So that's a low-hanging fruit as well.
Let's get it.
You better. Go ahead, Paul.
So go ahead. What's your
No, just real quick. I think everybody's speaking logic. You know, is when you look at personnel and try to read into the personnel, you would assume that there's a bigger commitment to us running the ball.
Right.
That's logical. You know, I also think we could be looking at politics from a standpoint of a logjam at tight end because of the forcing of school.
All right.
And so it could also, in my opinion, mean that there are some differences between people of power and coaches. So maybe
Conspiracy theory.
Wait. That's why I said, well, he said he's not conspiracy theorist.
no,
anti-conspiracy.
I'm laying out.
Go ahead, boss.
I'm laying out the other
Go ahead,
potentials,
boss.
right? Because it's a potential.
Yeah.
It could be where you have Linda Wells liking his guy with Span. Somebody paid for Span, right?
Right.
Somebody laid out, we want this guy so much
Preach,
to lay
boss.
out the money.
Also for John Stevens, too.
And John Stevens.
Coming
So
off of the
somebody
ACL.
like them, somebody like School, to me, it could also be a compromise. Okay, let's get them all, and
get
we
them
gonna
all.
sort it out.
Preach, boss.
Let's shoot into that too, real quick, boss. You said, all right, Schoolmaker, second round pick.
Right.
So he's gonna get more leeway and more yarn or chain to choke himself, as I like to say. All right. But also, I was gonna say this topic for next year's draft show. Look at our success of second round picks. Yeah, shit ain't good in the last 24 years.
He ain't lying.
We may hit about four picks may have hit in the last 24 years, all right? But I want to run it back real quick to something you was talking about.
Come on,
Mike
Ray.
McCarthy
Mike
saying how he practices hard, he got fined. Where is the lapse in the playoffs? If he's one of those niggas, and he's, I'm sorry, if he's on their head, he being tough on them, he on their head. Where does the collapse and lapse fall in the playoffs? If he's on them all season, off season, in the season, preseason, all that, why is it when it comes to the
I got a theory. I'm letting him go first. He
They fall
tapped
apart.
in. He got
If
tapped
he's
in.
on them like
I got a theory.
I'm gonna be fast.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
I'm
big
gonna
dog.
be fast. All it is to me to answer that, like my thoughts, personnel. You aren't equipped up front, the spine of your defense,
That's right.
and physically with your offensive line to move people the way that you need to, and to have that level of toughness that permeates itself
All right.
through the postseason. Right? Look at the four teams that were remaining.
Yeah.
Two at the top of the NFC last year.
Yep.
Two at the top of the AFC last year. What was synonymous with all those four teams?
Line of scrimmage.
Toughness.
Yes.
And that, the Lions, the Niners, and then in the AFC, the Ravens and the Chiefs. And that, say what you want about Patrick Mahomes, that's a Patrick Mahomes.
I got down. I
downs
got downs on this.
Yeah, some dogs.
you say toughness, is that mental, physical,
Dogs.
or both?
It's both.
Let me get in on this.
Come on, Law.
Let me get in on this now. 2021 playoff game versus the 49ers. The Cowboys had 14 penalties. That was Mike McCarthy's second season. Of course, it's Super Bowl or bust every year for the Cowboys. He didn't have a full control of this team because he was still looking behind his back.
And Garrett,
At Kellen Moore.
Not Garrett,
And
but
Kellen-
Kellen Moore,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
Garrett's son,
Garrett,
as well as, I would say we were well undisciplined team.
Boy genius.
I would put that on Mike McCarthy to that degree. That was his second season. Remember, smashing watermelons and stuff like that got him in trouble.
Yeah.
Right? So he couldn't lay out a real stern discipline type of thing because he was handcuffed. I know it sounds like babies of excuses, but then in 2022,
Preach, Law.
he literally said, I don't like stop routes. I don't like these option routes. He had an offensive coordinator who did in return, still did those option routes, stop routes. Looked like he had more control of this team than he did.
Yeah.
And he was
He did.
he was still
Boss, you
doing
throwing
those
them
type of
option
things.
routes out.
And then last year, Dan Quinn was already looking out the window.
Oh, he was
for
gone.
another job.
He was gone.
So,
Preach, Lord.
I would say this.
He was gone.
Mike McCarthy in the history of the Dallas Cowboys may be one of your best coaches, but also had the shortest ropes because people were talking about getting rid of Mike McCarthy year one.
Now they're still talking about him.
It's a guarantee.
Every year they were saying get rid of Mike.
12-5,
Every year,
12-5,
12-5.
Y'all watch Game of Thrones?
I ain't seen House of Dragons, but I watched Game of Thrones, baby. Yeah.
So Game of
favorite
Thrones,
show ever.
one of the classic episodes is when Tyrion, the imp, defended
Sansa?
Castle Rock.
Castle Rock.
Ross.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen
With the
it.
axe.
Yeah, and he got cut.
Yes. Across his eye.
And Varys went in there. If you're not Game of Thrones, I'm sorry.
Shout out to Game of
I'm
Thrones.
so sorry. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Best show ever.
But he basically saved the city.
Yeah.
And Varys came to him when he was cut. He said, books won't write about you.
Yeah.
People won't remember you.
That was the bodyguard, right? He had right? Yeah.
Who you gonna make me go back and watch
That was my point.
Preach,
That
boss.
made me think of Mike. That made me think of Mike. He said, they're not going to write about you. Right?
Preach, boss.
They're not going to talk about you. Right?
Preach up.
But those who was here know it was you while we really, for lack of a better metaphor,
Yes, sir.
12 and
Yes,
5.
sir. It's culture.
3 years in a row.
He changed the culture.
What he managed and how he manages
Preach, boss, cowboy.
political dilemmas of the Dallas Cowboys is frankly amazing. Like, to be honest, like anybody else that had an OC forced on them would have.
That's what I was about to tell you.
They would have.
Preach, boss, cowboy.
I'm done. You got it.
Well,
Coaches, it is understood in this league.
Right.
Yeah.
you pick,
They get the choice. Mike McCarthy didn't get the choice.
Right.
Man, give me some.
but that's not the first time.
That's crazy.
That's not
Yes.
the first time that's happened in Dallas.
It's
Let's
not.
wind it back. Let's wind it back to 2006.
Right, you kind of taking it far, though. I want to hear from the fans, right?
No.
Remember we had a coach of Wayne Phillips? Remember we had a coach of Wayne Phillips?
Yeah.
Who did they hire first before they hired Wayne Phillips?
Jason
Wayne
Garrett.
Phillips.
Yeah, we got a history of it. You right.
We got the history.
We got a history of
Jerry meddling.
Nonsense.
That's why it's amazing that he
Nonsense.
I'm gonna make some 12, but what you about to say though with that point?
I will say the big Frisco size BUT, but to that equation, while all of that is true, I did give the organization credit for allowing Mike McCarthy the freedom to go and get his guy Brian Shaw.
Yeah, it's true.
To go and get his guy Mike Solari. You know,
Mike Nolan. Yeah.
Mike Nolan too. Later than it should have been.
Yeah.
Right?
That was day one, yeah.
Better late than never. And so there was a couple different things that also were sort of parlayed with that philosophical change. And it's one of like people painted me as the overly optimist or the Cowboy Kool-Aid guy. I'm just trying to look into the optimism, like at the time, right?
There you go.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the facts. And so the facts at the time were, yes, the Joneses, say what you want about them, but they actually were, they looked themselves in the mirror enough to give Mike McCarthy that freedom. There was other philosophical change that we hadn't seen before. Things like drafting Mozzie Smith, a big boy, a run-stuffing type, which at the time we didn't know that he was going to struggle to this degree yet. But still, we like to think, we hope that the arrow is still pointed up for him.
McCarthy wasn't offensive lineman though.
It is what it is here on there. But on top of that, they removed themselves from, you know, the personal ties to Zeke, right? They were actually willing to part ways with him. Right. That was a little bit different from what we know about Jerry. And then also asking Tyron Smith to restructure, to not even restructure, to take less.
To
lessen his cap hit and
let his
take
ass
less
go
money,
to
less
buy
guarantees,
time.
right? So there were some things where I was like trying to give them credit for that, but I don't
Give
wanna-
him credit
I don't
for giving
wanna
McCarthy
take away
another
from
year.
the initial point though, is that it should have never come to that, to where we're having to find these
Here's collectively what we're saying.
Right.
Mike McCarthy is not faultless. He got his skeletons, but we collectively saying that it was given that he was fighting with left hand behind his back, you know. And that's with Kelly Moore. And then last year, I know that theirs are Dan Quinn's apologies, but last year, man, Dan Quinn so T.
He did.
Come on, man.
Sold us out.
I say this about
He was
Jerry.
ready to go.
Mailed in.
When it comes to Jerry and Steve, I say this. It's a way they go about it to where, and if we being honest and fair, we can sometimes understand it. If you go fail my way first. Fail your way second. That's what we continually see kind of out of Jerry and Steven is, I believe in Kellen Moore, so we gonna try my way first.
Right.
So, and if it doesn't work, I am open to your way.
There you go.
But what happens is that's what frustrates a lot of Cowboy Nation.
Right.
Because I'm gonna be all the way honest.
Be with it. Be with it.
Mike McCarthy done whooped your ass too much for you to be trying to tell him. OC, like, Mike McCarthy owned Jerry,
He did.
bro, like for years when he was over there at Green Bay.
Yeah.
He did.
So, like, you really shouldn't have had no say in my offense.
He played the Super Bowl in your house.
In your house.
Your
and
house.
won it in your house. Won it in your house. So it's one of those things to where I understand it because people of power gonna move like that. And I would be frustrated as a person of power and wealth is that I basically invested in you, I thought different than you, and then I end up being right that you was wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm pissed.
Woo.
Right? Yeah. So the way they go about things
That's good.
is that they gonna be
That's good, boss.
they gonna give you rope after they wrong first.
And you know, it's like, just move on from Coach Mike McCarthy. He's married to Dak Prescott.
Exactly.
They are mirrored
Yeah.
of each other. You know, we heard Mike McCarthy was a dumbfounded coach coming out of Green Bay, and he didn't know football.
Yeah.
That was what Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not beating Aaron Rodgers over it. I think he's a phenomenal player, but that what he led to people for to believe. But now we're seeing Dak Prescott all pro,
Flourish.
flourishing, better passing percentage, quarterback rating, and beyond, and being a person that can win you 12 games or more.
Cooper West 5-1.
But he should be extended though.
The 5-1 or 4-1.
And see, that's what Mike McCarthy should be extended.
That's why Mike McCarthy deserved an extension.
He should have got extended because it's like
That's why here's my next question I'm about to ask y'all here.
I got one too.
you forced Kellen Moore on me.
Forced him.
Now, when you finally give my offense a chance, your quarterback is the
Second MVP.
second run-up in MVP, but was really the MVP.
Right.
So was it my fault?
Yeah.
You know, so it's one of those things to where it's unfortunate, but also Cowboy Nation, believe it or not, this could also work. Because I studied the art of war.
Art of War, y'all write that down.
That's a great book.
No,
Read.
really, it's a
Read
great
that book.
It's a real good book. Now,
40
a
hours
lot
of power,
of people, it's a good book.
All the deception
So
in it.
one of the things that they teach on the art of war, Sun Tzu, military genius, general, he teaches that you get the most out of your men when you make them fight with their backs against the wall. Now, I'm just being honest. Now, a lot of people don't like that right now.
Look out, boss.
No, I'm just being honest.
You going below the belt, boss.
Am I going below Jerry? Am I getting Jerry back right now?
Is that not what Jimmy did?
Am I Jerry Jones?
Is that not what Jimmy did?
You Roosevelt.
Am I Roosevelt?
Is that not what Jimmy did, Law?
Right here. This is
Let
Roosevelt.
me ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all a question too, all right?
Is that not what Jimmy Johnson
Let me
did,
ask y'all a
Law?
question this. Do y'all see any scenario where they'll give him an extension in the middle of the season? Instead of like, okay, we're not going to wait to the end. Let's go ahead and get you signed up right now.
7-1.
If he goes 7-1 against this, because you talking about tight ends,
Yeah.
Flip it on him.
the Browns, top defense. Saints, top defense.
Okay.
Ravens, top defense.
Okay.
New York, they defense good.
You gotta play the whole
Pittsburgh, defense
North,
good.
yeah.
Detroit Lions, defense good. 49ers, defense good. It's a reason why you needed 4 tight ends. You know why? You got gangster D ends.
Get it, coach.
So you need some tight ends. 'Cause you know why? You have a rookie left tackle. You have a right tackle that we don't know yet if he's back to what 2022. So I'm just saying. That's why you need it. We 4 running backs. Yes. Why? You need 4 running backs. You need 4 tight ends because you got gangsters coming at you for the first 7 weeks. So if you go 71, Mike McCarthy, you should do just like CeeDee Lamb. Don't sign nothing. But you know what? Everybody's gonna want you. That's all I got to say on that.
Man,
Hey, man,
coach.
by the way, if y'all want to know who that is, now he don't have no socials. You do got a social, man. What's your Twitter, man? Tell everybody where to find you, brother. Everybody want to know where to find you, man. Where can they find you?
Incognito in the chat.
Incognito.
Incognito.
That's incognito coach.
So, question, follow up for the panel, right? I'm asking a question. I sort of have my own preconceived notions already. Okay. But we're talking about Mike McCarthy and giving him well-deserved respect, no question.
Right.
Does he get credit for letting go of the reins a little bit after week 6? And you're seeing.
You gotta give him all the credit.
One of the things that we got to give credit to Coach is making the necessary adjustments. He's been a team.
He's not Jason Garrett.
He's not. Look, Chad. What's his name? Chaz Green.
Jason Garrett never made adjustments.
Made about 8-7 sacks allowed.
Never made adjustments, Jason Garrett.
So yeah, it's good to see that justice though. Yeah. He made the adjustments.
So we all agree on that.
We all agree.
One other follow-up point, because I wrote that book down, Eldorado, by the way. Yeah. I'm going to do the best I can to read that.
Yeah, it's recommended reading at West Point.
Yes, sir.
You have to go through West Point. You have to study the art of war.
So then, I will raise this question. Talking about performing at your best, the men who are mentally
back against the wall
equipped to handle that pressure with your back against the wall, with this American-sized spotlight hanging over the star in Frisco, right? Because everybody cares whether they suck or whether they're amazing. Everybody's invested.
Right.
I've talked about that before. How Dak Prescott is projected, right? He's already performed with his back up against the wall, the franchise tag, 2 different times, right? What, as just the mind of an athlete right now, what does that tell you about the sports psychology of that man right there? A guy, not to mention, and also it's worth mentioning, year 1 of a brand new offense, quarterbacks aren't supposed to be MVP caliber candidates in.
Nobody takes that.
No, never happens.
I love that point.
Never happens.
That's not supposed to happen.
Never.
But it did, right? And I think it was, I can't remember if it was Ray or Boss, we're talking about it while we were watching practice. If you just have the hollow or just black out Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson, okay? Cover them up, can't see their faces. Put their statistics side by side. It's a landslide.
Dak is killing it.
It's a landslide.
Dak is killing it.
I said this. I want to encourage people to look up Dak Prescott 2019 numbers. Look at
Before he got Cooper?
I'm just talking about the year that he went 8-8, and then you look up Lamar Jackson numbers from last year. I mean, it's better, you know. So I get it, you know. They base that MVP on some other.
I don't have any stuff, but I get against. I'm impartial. I don't care who wins the award. I'm just trying to provide context.
No question.
So your question is, what does it say about Dak? I think Dak is mentally the strongest quarterback in the league. I don't even think it's close. Like a lot of people might say Mahomes. I say hell no. Because see, Mahomes was really gifted the best of everything. Yeah. Nobody really had it better than Mahomes coming into the league. You was able to do the old school route of sitting.
For several years.
Learning an offense.
Yes.
Yeah. You had the privilege of a top 2 to 3 offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
You had the fastest, best route runner in their prime.
Yes.
You also had the
best
tight end.
And the base
in the world.
Chris Jones.
Yeah, so but now, and I said this the other day, there's a narrative that's been growing that's really destroying the minds of football people. The narrative that quarterbacks supposed to carry the weaknesses
the ultimate team sport.
In the ultimate team sport, what an insult to the other men. And I said this and I mean it. That narrative that's growing is causing people to become dumber and dumber by the day. And this is the thing.
Turn off ESPN and turn this on.
Turn this on.
Yeah, and it's because it's. And I said this about Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush, right now.
Talk about it, boss.
You know I'm gonna be all the way honest on this.
Preacher.
I'm gonna be all the way honest on this. Cooper Rush should not be QB2. And this is why.
There's a whole other side.
Keep going.
Because I'm still sticking with the narrative for quarterbacks.
Okay.
See, Cooper Rush is that guy in the group project that got an A, but he just bought the no cards.
You hard on the ball.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not.
You hard on the ball.
You just bought the no cards.
You too hard on the ball.
No, I'm not. Our offense was ranked 28.
We were ranked 28 in offense, but
That man went 5-1.
We telling Cooper,
See, you doing it.
do enough not to lose the game. That's all we want you to do. And he can't do enough to win the game. That's just what it is.
But it's true what I'm saying.
He's a game manager, boss.
He's a manager.
But that narrative,
Bus driver.
That narrative
That's a
is
bus
wrong.
driver.
Because see, this is the deal, y'all. Listen, this. I'm being all the way honest.
Come on with it.
Why did no other team pick him up when he was a free agent?
Twice, right?
Why he was hot off the 5 and 1?
He's a consummate
Why he
second.
was hot off
He's
the
a
5 and
he's a
1
consummate second. He's a second.
Because Phil
quarterback.
don't lie.
He's a second quarterback.
Phil don't
That's
lie.
right, Phil don't lie.
Listen. Cincinnati, he threw 5 picks, 4 picks, and they dropped them. They got butterfingers. Okay? Listen.
I'm gonna fight y'all on this. Y'all too
Come on,
hard.
get him.
Y'all too hard on him.
He can fight me all. Hold on. He can fight me all he wants.
Hold on,
But this is facts.
Hold on.
If I'm a defense coordinator, and I know you have a noodle on. Guess what? I'm pressing your wide receivers. It's not hard to play defense with the quarterback that can't throw. You can't throw.
Hey, but I gotta
Hold on, boss.
I gotta put the
Boss,
camera
real
on me
quick.
just real quick. Okay.
Boss,
go
real
ahead.
quick.
Okay.
Jason Garrett went 10 years as a third-string quarterback.
Off of 1 win.
But what I'm saying, no, hold on.
You
He
know
went
it's
10 years
true.
as a third-string quarterback. This guy is a good number 2 quarterback. What you want in your number 2? He makes $2 million a year. He manages the game. He causes your defense to play better, and you got to run the football with them. And he doesn't make mistakes. He does not make mistakes. What you want
don't
for
make
your-
mistakes?
He doesn't. What you want for your QB2 is to manage the game. And that's what that young man
So
has
that
done.
definitely never happened. Cincinnati never happened.
No, but
They dropped 4 interceptions.
did they win the game?
Oh, we not doing that.
Did they win the game?
That's what I mean. This what I mean. He
Did
got
they
an
win the
A.
game?
He bought the no
Definitely.
cards.
Definitely.
He bought the no cards. He got an A.
You
on the
got
project.
it. So you ready to boss? You ready to start?
I was getting to a bigger point though. This is the bigger
Go
point.
ahead.
This is the main reason why Trey Lance should be number 2. Because you have a chance to get your money back.
How, Sway?
Okay.
I was gonna say.
We talked about this.
I gotta explain why you got a chance to get that you don't have with Cooper Rush.
Exactly.
All right, because everybody know when they tried to put Trey out there, Cooper Rush in the market, nobody wanted him. That's right. So they already showing you that there's no value for him. But if you go look at the other quarterbacks that was drafted with Trey, they at least went for 5th rounders with bad film. With bad film, Jones had bad film and it was a fit. So the optimism of a quarterback sometimes make people hope in the quarterback in the future. So if you having blowouts, why in the hell would you then go out there and say, okay, Cooper Rush, you're our number 2 because you've earned it? You're plateaued. Let's go ahead and go with the younger guy, hopefully have a game plan in place that can at least cause some excitement, catch a team in need before the trade deadline, and maybe get your
Boss,
money back.
one question for you.
Potentially.
One quick question for you.
And then I gotta follow
One
up.
quick question. Would you bet your house, God forbid, if Dak gets hurt, would you bet your house on Trey Lance coming in and winning you a few games?
I would bet my house and your house. I would bet my house and your house.
That Trey Lance
I'm
coming
gonna
in
tell you
and
why.
win
I'm gonna tell you
games?
why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
Because
What is he showing you that he
I'm
can
gonna
do
tell
that?
you why. Because what they was doing in preseason was not what you're doing in the regular season.
Exactly, they don't
Hold on,
scheme.
No. No, they did scheme.
Defensive
Matter of fact,
coordinators
one of
don't
the
scheme in the
interceptions.
preseason?
One of the interceptions was a scheme. Where they dropped the defensive end. They do scheme in preseason.
I'm talking about the
I don't know
whole
why-
game,
I don't
boss.
know why I don't know why people believe
The whole game
that
they gonna
defensive
scheme it.
coordinators don't have to get warmed up too. They got to get warmed up on their play
You
calling,
right,
so they
and when
gonna
they
throw out some
warm
plays
up,
too.
Trey Lance ain't
But
ready.
this is the point. Now,
He's not ready.
No. Let me tell you something. If you asked Cooper Rush to throw the ball 50 times, he gonna look bad.
Trey Lance.
Because hear me out. Because there's a big difference between what I'm trying to see in preseason versus the regular season. The goal of the regular season is what? One thing.
Win.
The dub.
Okay.
The goal of the preseason is what?
See what you can't.
Evaluation.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do in preseason is I'm gonna say, in this situation, I shouldn't go for it on fourth down. But I have to simulate and see what would you do
If you see enough,
Based upon your evaluation of Trey Lance,
yes.
who is he?
Trey
Thank you,
Lance
Lord.
is a quarterback that's continued to get better and better and better.
Is he accurate? Is he accurate?
Is Josh Dobbs better than Trey Lance right now?
Hell no.
What?
We going down a rabbit hole right now.
Listen, I'm gonna shut this down. Hold up. I'm gonna shut this down. I'm gonna shut this down. This is all facts. This is not rumor. This is facts. When Kirk Cousins got hurt with Minnesota, who reached out to Dallas? Minnesota did. They asked about Cooper Rush? No. They asked about Trey Lance.
Thank you.
I'm bald headed.
It's
Quick and clear. My bad. I got further than this. When they was coming out of school,
Coach, that don't
who
mean
gave
nothing.
3 first-round picks? Oh, San Fran did. So I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, this is facts too. Minnesota called the Cowboys again. About who? Not Cooper Rush. 5-1. Trey Lance.
He ain't won nothing. Yo, he ain't won a regular season game.
He ain't listening.
I'm just
He
saying.
ain't listening to me.
No.
He
He just threw 5 picks.
No one.
You gonna make your second and third team defenders.
Listen, with your plan, we get nothing. With my plan, we possibly get something. If you go out there and say, okay, all right, Cooper Rush is our number 2. If we're blowing them out, Cooper Rush is going out there.
This is a proven season for Mike.
No. That's what I'm saying.
It's a proven
No, you ain't
season.
listen to me.
I'm not betting my house
listen to
on
me.
Trey Lance.
In that blowout, so we're winning. No, listen. We're winning by a lot. Listen to me.
Linda.
Listen to the situation. This is the situation. We are winning by a lot. So if we're winning by a lot, you're not risking the season, are you?
Well, Trey Lance is emergency third quarterback. He's
But
not
you
my
gotta think.
second quarterback.
Remember,
I'm
One-
dressing Cooper Rush.
one of the Cowboys. I talked to him about this too.
Well, yeah, that's what I was about
What
to
is one of the Cowboys' favorite things? Draft picks. Come on. Okay.
Preach now. Preach.
Comp picks.
Come on.
Talk. You gotta let him play
Come on.
to get some comp picks out of him.
That's what I'm saying.
He's gotta sign with another team for a decent amount of money.
I got the offer
Get some
coming.
comp picks.
I got 1 year to exist or they gonna fire me. I'm going with Cooper Rush and Trey Lance. Who I'm going with? I'm betting my house on Cooper Rush. If I'm not betting on Trey Lance, he's not accurate. He ain't played enough games. What is he playing enough?
I'm waving my white flag against, man. You know what?
Yeah, I'm quit too, man. I'm done fighting. No, I ain't done waving. I got a whole video coming out of me.
I'm done with the Trey Lance and the Cooper Rush.
Come on, Long, tell the truth, Long.
I'm done with the name.
there's a completely different level, or there's a whole other option here that we haven't touched on. To me, the 4th round capital that was spent on Trey Lance is water under the bridge at this point.
Yeah.
I've been loud about this too.
All right.
No matter what happens with him, right? Whatever you're able to recoup in exchange for him, whatever he's able to turn into, the thought process, spending a 4th round pick on the most important position in all of sports is always good business. It was worth it. Okay, now here's the thing.
What do you do
Stay
now?
along the same lines of that exact thinking. You are planning for you're taking a shot, throwing a dart, a risk-free dart at the most important position. Now, what did he just do? 5 interceptions. By the dip. Get these all-world level traits, which is essentially a guy that can turn himself into a running back at the quarterback position, with also unlimited arm strength that allows for separation. Right?
My bad, we cut y'all off.
You're good.
Somebody hungry away from me, and I gotta, you gotta feed
I'll
them
take a
when
seat,
they hungry.
man. You won't have to move that after I take a seat.
So we good. I'll see y'all later. We them boys.
Yeah, we the
It's
boys.
a perfect situation.
I enjoyed it, bro.
All right, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
He gone like Trey Lance.
Oh, wait, my bags are in your car.
You better come on and get this shit down.
All right. Somebody just said, let me have his seat. That's funny. I saw that on there. So the whole point I'm getting at is extend Trey Lance right now. Who cares about recouping some of the draft stuff, right? Yeah. The draft picks, especially on day 3, man, it's hard enough to evaluate quarterbacks in round 1, but evaluating anybody on day 3, it is what it is. Now, my thing
Extend Trey Lance.
Yeah,
Is Trey Lance your number 2 or number 3 quarterback?
He's my number 3 right now. For the reasons that you now, I know what he's talking about, though. I understand the process.
Let me dive into this.
But 2 years for $8 more billion guaranteed. Why not?
All of us was at
Continue
practice.
to develop.
All of us at practice today.
Yeah.
How many times we saw Trey throw the ball?
Not many.
Not many.
He was running with the 3.
Running with 3.
Rightfully so.
So he only had a spoonful of attempts to throw the ball.
Amen.
So
Now-
he's not even getting the necessary.
He ran the scout team, Lord.
What Boss was saying? What Boss was saying? So now, let's just say hypothetically, right? You buy the deal. You extend him, you get him here, and you commit to continuing just to see. Because he's still, you can't make up your mind on Trey Lance right now, whether you're team Trey or team not Trey. You haven't seen enough. Nobody on this planet has seen Trey Lance play enough football to make that determination.
He's not ready.
Okay. Buy the dip, keep him around. It's a perfect situation.
Definitely got to.
Let him develop under Dak Prescott, who's about to get
Completely
extended here in
agree.
the next couple days.
So you extend both quarterbacks.
Yes,
You got to.
Rush Wall.
You got to.
You still to this
got
day,
to.
as of today, if you extend Dak Prescott today, tomorrow, or the next day, it doesn't matter. You don't have another quarterback on your books after this season.
But you know when you make that decision, boy, you just hit it.
Come on, Lord.
Let me tell you what you did.
I thought you were done with it.
Hold on, I'm done with that. But the only
you don't wanna
way,
jump
hold on,
in.
I'm done with the 90s. You know what that dude on TikTok. I'm done with the 90s. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
If you bring on this side,
Here's the point. Trey is joint at the hip with Mike McCarthy.
That's good.
Because if you fool around and extend Trey without Mike McCarthy, that's, excuse my French, that's pissing in the ocean, thinking that he's going to turn the ocean yellow. It's not going to happen. Because then, if you bring in another coach, you got to start all the way over at ground zero. Mike McCarthy is joint at the hip with Trey. So if you're going to extend Trey Lance, you got to have breaking news. Mike McCarthy is and it goes a little bit. There's a little bit away with even Dak Prescott too.
Yes.
Are you sure though, Lord? Because
Who else gonna want that project?
Mike wasn't happy
Who
about.
else gonna want that Trey Lance project?
Mike was not happy about them trading that 4th round draft choice for Trey Lance.
How do you know?
It was obvious on his face because they never told him. Trey Lance showed up and here I am. There you go again. I was stuck with Kellen Moore. Now you putting a quarterback that I didn't ask for? Then I got to try to find a fit in. And then once they saw him, I got to work on his footwork. I got to work on his throwing mechanics.
Well, who else gonna
I got to
have that
find
patience?
some playing time for
What
him.
coach you gonna bring in gonna have that patience with Trey Lance?
Well, I'm just saying. He's a quarterback whisperer. He is. But I don't think he's joined at the hip to Trey Lance.
I think he is.
Because if that was the case, Trey Lance would be his number 2.
I think
Trey Lance is not his number 2. Trey Lance is his number 3 right now. And he says, I got to go win this year.
And see, life ain't fair, man.
yeah, no.
Cooper Rush number 2 for doing nothing.
Come on, no, you're not giving him credit. Boss, you're not giving him credit.
Yeah,
That young man is a bus driver.
He bought the no call.
You want your number 2 to be a bus driver.
You know what he did?
He's a bus
He
driver.
was the person that's in the group presentation.
He's a bus driver.
Let me tell you what he did. Let me tell you what Cooper.
Go ahead, break that down.
He's the guy that said, we're getting ready to work on this molecular physics experiment. Guys are going to be presented today.
You're stupid, boss.
This is what we have Landon. He's going to be conducting, and then we will also hear from Law Nation, and he's going to be the guy that's going to bring up the nuclear physics option, and who's going to bring it home is Coach Q. That's my section of the presentation, and he sat his hands down. And they did that in the preseason.
You're wrong, boss.
Man. No,
You're wrong for that,
I'm not
boss.
wrong.
You're wrong for that.
No, listen, because see, how are you awarded the number 2 quarterback job and you didn't even compete in preseason?
Boss, I'm going to fight with you on this.
We all fighting. You losing the fight.
Boss, I'm going to fight with you on this.
Y'all want to see a grown man lose?
Boss, no.
Get the the main camera right there.
No.
So slide over there to him, man.
This
There we
man
go.
is a game manager. That's all you want for your number 2. Think about all of it, successful number 2.
Why nobody else want him then?
Because he's a number 2. Everybody's looking
People
for a
like
number
number 2
1. No, they don't.
quarterbacks.
No,
But
they don't.
Lando made the point.
Everybody wants a number 1.
But no one
because
asked it for him.
Everybody
Everybody asking for Trey Lance.
out of 32 teams, there are 13 to 14 quality quarterbacks.
Okay, hold on.
So those other 8, well, listen to
What's
me.
the superpower? What's the
Coach Q,
superpower?
the other 18 teams are wanting number 1.
I know, but where's his superpower?
He doesn't have one.
Right, but Trey Lance does. A 4-4.
I'm not
you
saying
heard that?
He has 2 actually, limitless arm strength.
Yes.
But he is a long way away.
Thank you. That's the point.
Listen,
The point is that right now, nobody's saying Trey Lance
in
is
NFL,
not, it doesn't have potential.
in
Nobody's
NFL,
saying that.
what you want to do in the NFL is all about potential. Okay?
Yeah,
Trey Lance has all potential, and he has running potential. Sounds very familiar to a developed fruit. Jackson from out of what? Baltimore. So guess what? Everybody sees that.
Potential.
And like Lando's saying,
Potential's not your solid
Hold
number
on.
2.
I've been making some, I've been saying the group project. I'm gonna talk real honest and I'll move on from this debate.
Let's go.
But to be honest,
I got something.
with Trey, to me, the reason why you should make him quarterback 2 is because that was the evaluations you was doing in preseason. In a real game, the real strategy would be we're going to make his legs a threat, which you don't have with Cooper Rush.
Agreed?
We're going to also limit his throws. We're going to lean on the run game. We're going to use the Cooper Rush game plan that made him 5-1, but we're going to do it with a quarterback that has more too.
Will that work with him though, boss? You already know it works with Cooper Rush. You've seen it work.
Yes.
So if I'm Mike McCarthy,
let me answer
I
your
trust
question. Let me
Cooper
answer
Rush.
your question.
I
do believe
when
Trey
y'all
Lance
finish with these
is
points,
able to
I
go
got
to the
time.
store and pick up no cards for the group.
You think he can do that?
I think he's good enough to go get no cards and do a basic game management job. Yes.
But he ain't showing you no accuracy whatsoever.
I think you're going too far with no accuracy. Because where did the 323 yards come from?
Well, he threw it 40 times.
But no, it just wasn't from the volume of throws because he also threw it 40 times game 1 and he didn't have 200 yards.
Well, you had wide receivers that's trying to make the roster that's going to be twisting their body.
Name me, and I hate to cut y'all off on this, but name me the top 5 contending teams for the Super Bowl.
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Ravens.
Kansas City.
49ers.
49ers.
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Detroit.
And either the Cowboys or the
And what all do they have in common?
They dogs. They got dogs.
They ain't doggone talking about their third string and their damn second string quarterback. Man, God dog, man, we spending all of this time on the second string and third string
But
quarterback.
it is crucial though, law because
It's
they're
crucial, but
they're paying that man
San
$5 million.
Francisco third string is one starting.
Your third,
To my point.
your third
hey,
string quarterback, they're paying him $5 million.
He ain't lying.
That's costing the roster.
He's making more money than Brock Purdy. He's making more money than
That's
Brock
a crucial
Purdy. I
roster
get all of that. We are paying more money than any team in the National Football League in their quarterback.
So they see value in him, law. So it's value in him because they see his potential. But the only point I was making to boss was they don't trust him yet.
But we spending too much energy and time
Yeah,
in that
I'm
department.
done talking about it.
We
I'm
should
all
be
the way
done
off
with
of it.
that. That should be the department where we looking at DBs.
Yeah.
Where's our weakest?
I finished talking about it.
Yeah, running backs or something like that.
It's a situation
It's
where,
interesting discussion.
but it's not even just
It's
interesting.
interesting, but yeah.
It's just that I brought it up because we got a potential to be wasteful. To go with Cooper Rush, you go waste the potential to get a trade value out of Trey. That's right. That's all the reason I brought it up. But then other than that, and on top of that, it makes sense to have Trey because Dak said himself, the better Trey plays, the better he plays. Cooper Rush has plateaued. He don't fear Cooper Rush. If you want a better Dak, you should be praying for more development out of Cooper Rush. I mean, Trey Lance, and you should be creating those opportunities for Dak to look over his shoulder a little bit because he plays better that way.
Boss, you made phenomenal points.
Yeah, this is a great
And
point.
I agree with those. The only counterpoint I'll make to that is the Cowboys have shown you that based upon giving Trey Lance carte blanche over the preseason in terms of more reps than anybody, they evaluated him and they've said he's not ready yet. That's why he's number 3. They don't trust him. Mike McCarthy's going into my last season where it's a all or nothing season. Jerry Jones has put him up here and said, look, you either win or you out. I'm not extending you. You either do it or you don't. So I'm going to bet my house on Trey Lance. I'm going to bet my house on Cooper Rush. I've seen Cooper Rush win.
But we've seen all of that. But here's my thing, and I get that. What we're doing ultimately is we got 4 run flat tires on our car. And we got the spare tire. We talking about, hey, man, hey. Can we get this a run flat? Can this be a real tire? You know, come on.
You're right, dog.
Yeah. We got 4 run flats.
You still rolling.
We're still rolling, but we're talking about the spare tire. You know? In the event, that means that ultimately what they're banking on is Dak Prescott something happened to him, or they don't ultimately have the trust in him.
That's right.
That's what the real deal that nobody's really talking
My
about.
bad.
It's all Dak Prescott because all of those other teams, they're not thinking about getting rid of their starting quarterback. Those 4 or 5 teams that we just lamented. So that's just what it is. It all goes to Dak Prescott at this point. So what I'm trying to do is, where can we get better at on this particular team? Is it running?
We get better.
Is it offensive line? That's a wait and see because we got Tyler Guyton who we drafted. BB, you said that, hey, he still got to work on some things, even to a degree that what's the guy that's right down the street here? Big Duke said, hey, I know y'all giving these guys flowers, but keep in mind they are rookies.
Yeah.
They are rookies.
The growing pains are coming, whether we like it or not.
Because what these other defensive coordinators do, they see tendencies. And just like you saw him, but not in the air with certain things, they looking at tendencies. And that's going to be brought out week 3, week 4, week 5.
Yeah.
When they start saying, okay, Cooper, BB, he tends to do this. That's right. He tends to do that. And I know for sure he can't point out Mike. He can't do shift adjustments yet. When crowd is loud, he's going to have to go through that growing pains. So those are things that we're going to have to pay close attention to if we want to win some of these dirty games.
You're 100% right.
That's why the rookie crash exists, by the way, too. A lot of it is because coaches in this league are that good. They know how to game plan for you specifically and take you away and eliminate what your strengths are. And so,
I mean, you play left-handed.
One good thing about Cooper Beebe though is he's a 4-year starter.
Facts.
Yeah.
4-year starter that has a dog mentality. That has shown you real quick that, hey, I went from snapping bad to snapping really good over the course of a 4-week training.
even if it takes my mom in my backyard, I got you.
So he's shown you improvement on top of already got experience in being a dog. So that to be optimistic about the offensive line, that's great. When you say, where can we improve? I'm worried a little bit about the D-line and linebackers. Linebackers, we're still worried about that. And can we stop the run?
Yes.
Because these young linebackers, they still have not proved nothing yet.
That's why you got to have Eric Kendricks there.
He's there, but you still got.
You got to hope that he stay healthy.
Yeah, you still got. But you still got off linebackers. And can they field? Can they run field? And can your D tackles get where they need to be? They ain't shown that yet. All we see is a little bit of preseason. Can they show it against a great offensive line? Because Cleveland has a hell of an offensive line.
You see it.
Baltimore has a hell of an offensive line.
Facts.
You're going to learn a lot week 1.
It's true.
And then Detroit got a good line.
Yes, the first 4 weeks.
To parlay his point, we don't have to say what we're worried about as far as the biggest weaknesses.
Yeah.
The coaching staff already told us.
Yeah.
They already brought in Jordan Phillips and Liv Joseph.
There you go.
So we already know.
It tells you, right?
And yes, and that did confirm my preconceived notions as well. So that was, but now we know for sure it is. So,
My 3 concerns would be the morale of the team as long as Dak Prescott is not paid. Because C.D. Lamb talked about it.
Players know.
He spoke about it because everybody knows that you're sending a message when you don't sign your quarterback. Regardless of all this, we believe in Derek. We just trying to work it out. All these other teams finish their deals before their training camp, which is basically saying we want this guy focused on football. 1, 2, we also sending the indication that we believe in this guy for our future. So 2, with all the concussion issues, Sunshine never came close to to his projected level of play, all of that, but they still get paid those guys. So morale is what I'm concerned about. Corner two.
That's a good point.
That's short term. That's short term, not in the long term, but in the short term, I'm concerned about corner two. I love, the dog that we see in Carson. I believe it.
We're gonna have up and down.
But it's gonna be up and down. Anybody should expect that. We saw up and downs with rookie Diggs. So how the hell we ain't gonna see that with a rookie Carson? And Bland. Right. So
it's about Mark Cooper. If I'm Jerry Judy, I'm licking my chops. If I'm Chris Olave, rookie. If I'm Chris Olave, if I'm Zay Flowers, I'm looking. I'm like, put 41 on me. Put 41 on me.
Number 3. Jordan Lewis struggled his first year.
I got one more. Go ahead. Defensive end.
Oh, okay, but
All right, break in down, because I want to hear your point. I want to hear your point.
That Sam Williams loss is big, man.
It is.
Yeah, see, it's
Speed rusher.
Speed rusher. He was a key red shirt.
That's right.
He was a key red shirt. Like, everybody misunderstood Jerry. He did mean all in when he said it. But what he was saying is we're betting on our younger guys. He also clarified it a million times.
Yeah, Clarence Hill.
But that was the key one right there. That Sam Williams was the key. And it looks like ugly juggling of trying to find a replacement. I'm just being honest. So that also means if I'm looking at defensive end, you're going to likely get a lot more reps out of guys that they wasn't intending to get a lot of reps out of because you're going to have to now. It also risks you for having to make Micah Parsons one-dimensional if you really need that pass rush out of him. Right. You don't get that chest piece out of Micah Parsons if you don't really trust your end.
Right.
So those are the 3 things I'm concerned about going into the season, but that's a short list.
But you know what? I think what this cut down day proved to me is that all the naysayers in Cowboys land don't know football. Because the Super Bowl winning team, Kansas City, traded you for one of your tight ends that you threw away, and they signed one of your cornerbacks. So if you say your team ain't good, oh, by the way, Cincinnati came and got your 7th-round pick. So don't tell me nothing about Will McClay can't drive. Don't tell me nothing about how good our team is, because when 2 Super Bowl contenders, Cincinnati and Kansas City, got 3 of your players that you put on waivers.
They put on some film.
Yeah, they put on some film. And then sometimes you scout the scouts. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They always been looking at our DBs. Trevarius Ward is one of the guys back in the day.
That's right.
And they know that. And then, of course, they try to take a flyer in boss man fashion. So I just think that the Chiefs are looking at a situation whereas they know Will McClay can draft well.
And when the Wells, they know that he shot good.
Yeah, but as much as everybody say, hey, Hendershot, oh man, he's going to the Chiefs. You can only close your eyes and imagine.
Come on now.
If Stevens would have went there.
Woo!
Wait. Yeah. Stevens and Kelsey, that would have been a nice little tandem there. So I can look at it from those 2 folds of the situation. Not to take away your point.
Right.
This team, man, I think that we are contenders.
Yeah.
I think that we do have a shot. It's not a shot in the dark. I think we do have a chance. I think that also with Zim, what he's going to do is bring discipline to this team. I think we still have edge rush. We just don't have the luxury of moving them around like you said with chess pieces. And I'm going to ask the people that's watching right now, if Myles Garrett leaves the damn Cleveland Browns, do they have edge rush?
That's fact.
Right. If Bosa leaves 49ers, do they have edge rush?
That's a concern.
If TJ Watt out on the Steelers, do they have edge rush?
You got 2.
Yeah. So
most don't even have one.
Yeah. So most teams have one.
Don't even have one.
But listen, leave my guy Law Nation alone about Zeke. Because if you wasn't out here, then you can't talk to Law Nation about Zeke. Why? Because one of the backs, out of all the backs we got, they have some of the best vision. It's still Zeke. So please don't come at Law. Don't shake him up. Oh, and by the way, the second back that had the best vision was little beat.
Yeah. Can't hit what you can't see.
Come on now.
My boy glide like butter.
So you feel good? You feel good about the running back room?
I ain't say that. Okay. I'm just saying vision-wise. So everybody talking about Zeke and talking about, listen, the 2 guys that had the best vision today at practice was little Deuce and Zeke Elliott.
Yeah, I can't wait till they
Just let you know.
Yeah, it will. And the thing is, running back is the dependent variable, right? And that's the one thing I've just been trying to say is that Rico Dowdle is capable enough. Zeke, if he's performing in the role that I think that everybody assumed that he was going to be performing in, which is short downs and distances, goal line situations, some being an extension of the offensive line in certain times, like maybe long, like third and long type stuff, especially. Just that extra trust next to Dak Prescott in the backfield in crunch time situations, right? To me, the Cowboys had much bigger issues than the personnel in their backfield last year running the football. So, the running back room is a secondary concern relative to actually running the football because it's all about what's happening up front first and foremost. The how matters more than the who when you're talking about running the football. And the thing with Deuce is, I just wanted to get this point up real quick too. I've talked about this as well, and it's kind of perspective, like thinking about him as a productive player in this league. If you can actually get downhill on teams and control A and B gap, the way that you will be able to with a people mover like Cooper Beebe smack dab in the middle of a first team All-Pro to his left and a first ballot Hall of Famer to his right, you're forcing would-be tacklers and opposing defenders to stack and shed and sort of have to be more flat-footed as opposed to rallying to the football when you're trying to do like zone stretch and get things to the perimeter. So guess what? Like a guy like Deuce, when you do, I know everybody says get him in space. Okay, sure. But when you're doing some of those things, right? Guess what? The entire defense on the other side of the line of scrimmage is flowing with them. So they have momentum and a head of steam. He's easier technically to corral and pursue. But when you're all of a sudden, guess what? If you got people that can get downhill on you, put paws on you, and occupy or sustain blocks and climb, if you're flat-footed, you don't have the luxury of flowing. Therefore, you are much less susceptible to eliminate Deuce's superpower, which is short area quickness and lateral agility. So think about it. If you're just trying to get off of Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Zach Martin, first you got to see Deuce first and foremost, but then you got to
can't hit what you can't see.
You can't pick your feet up, and you don't have the momentum necessary to even attempt to try and offset the area of his skill set that's already better than you will ever be just because of his size and his athleticism. The short area quickness is going to make it more difficult. So if you can get downhill on teams, I actually think that suits Deuce's skill set as much or better than anything else.
Did it in Kansas State?
Hey, I wish I had more time, but we're going to have to get rid of that, man.
Yeah, we're going to have to wrap.
But we like to do a segment that was presented to you guys by Boss Cowboy Sports. It's called The Final Word. Now, I can start from my left or right. Which one y'all want to go first?
Y'all go first, man.
Y'all go
First of all, what you a YouTuber now? What you doing, man? You done jumped all in the show. Coach Q, no, I'm messing with you.
I'm a fan of Law Nation, so I just support Law.
Oh, you're not a fan? You ain't a fan of me? Come on, man.
What we doing? My boy Boss, my boy Law. Definitely.
You just mad at me because you lost that debate, man.
Come on, man. I ain't Big Game James, damn it.
Wait. You done name drop a boy.
Big Game James.
Big Game, I love you.
I love you, big bro. Really, man.
Oh, see, I love you too, brother.
Yeah, man. What's your final word?
My final word is this. We had a debate about Cooper Rush. I'm gonna leave that where it may be. But I want to talk about my final word around Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke Elliott, in terms of he's caught a lot of hate here in YouTube media, new media, regular media here over the last couple of weeks. A lot of unwarranted hate. And I just want to say about Zeke Elliott for the last 2 years here with the Cowboys, he gets no credit for playing hurt. He played hurt with a bum knee. He played. He didn't complain. He didn't say, "Hey guys, I'm hurt." He did none of that. He left and went to New England with no quarterback, no offensive line, no support, no wide receivers, and still had a decent season. I've seen nothing in all I've seen in terms of training camp and the practices I've seen now where he's lost a step. Nothing. He's not 30 years old yet. He's close to it, but Zeke Elliott still has a little bit of a burst. And guess what? Zeke Elliott gets better in between the tackles. And where are we the strongest on the offensive line this year? It's going to be in between the tackles. And what is Mike McCarthy's running scheme this year? He tried to do it the last 2 years. Shotgun, let me run it up, let me run in between the tackles. Zeke Elliott is best at that. So I think Zeke is going to have a phenomenal year this year. Give Zeke 10 to 12 carries. Give Rico 7 to 9 carries. Give Deuce 4 or 5. Give Luke 3 or 4. Then you got a running back by committee. And now you got a support structure so that Dak can do play action and get the ball to CD and get the ball down the field. So my final word is, watch out for Zeke Elliott. He's not done, y'all. And while y'all hating on him, he got something for y'all. Zeke said, let me eat. Let me eat.
That's a damn good final word, man.
Yeah, I'm about to jump in a little bit.
Wait a minute,
just real quick. It's not my final word, but I gotta say something. I gotta say something with that though. It's a couple things that we all gotta be careful to not follow narratives because we hear it a lot. That's what tends to happen.
Yeah. If
you continue to hear Zeke is washed, you'll begin to say he's washed.
Come on.
And as a former track athlete and a top, okay, I know this about speed. Speed is something that honestly you have from God, okay, that need to be sustained and grown from training. You usually don't really lose speed until your mid-30s. That's what people don't. So in terms of he can't run like he used to, it all really depends on his off-season training, if I'm being honest.
Speed.
So it's certain things that have grown out there about running backs that's more so, in my opinion, general talk, not specific to the athlete.
There you go.
Because yes, in general, running backs are worn down faster. But then we're not speaking in general. We got to look at the athlete as an individual. And you got to say, is Zeke the type that's Saquoning, or is he Gore? Is he Emmett? Is he the type of guy? His track record to me says more. LaDainian.
Curtis Martin, baby, go way back.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, so I haven't thrown him away. And it's not because I like Zeke. It's because I watched the New England film and studied the shit. You know what I mean? And I really look for signs of speed and like I'm watching him today. I'm like, dog, how the hell people saying he washed?
I will say I was one of the I was wrong, potentially wrong. I still got to see it on the field.
Yeah,
I was one of the ones that was just
Because you could be right. Well, they're saying they're shielding D. They say they're shielding D right now.
Right, and they are.
You can't evaluate it.
Exactly.
They're
and that's
saying
it.
sure.
So all I can go off of is what I know, and I just didn't know. And so I was asking the question just because I wasn't sure, right? Until I can see.
You're not alone in your opinion, though.
Yeah.
They beat them up right now.
Yeah.
They're beating them up.
You know, whether that's right or wrong is we're gonna see at the end of the day. But one thing I do know is that with Zeke's skill set, right? He was obviously brought here for a reason. We all know that. This is to help us convert on short downs and distances, be more efficient in the red zone, et cetera, et cetera. But so you mentioned the Saquon versus Emmett's, Gores, and all that. Like Zeke's skill set, right? He wasn't necessarily a guy that relied and depended on stop-start. It was more physicality. So physicality can carry with you for a lot longer than all that other stuff. So anyway, I digress.
Yeah, almost like
Look at the Bucks.
the Bucks. Perfect example.
I mean, he had his second career. So
After 3 bad years, that's what people forget.
I just tried to throw in the Curtis Martin,
That's good. Going to the Jets.
or Corey Dillon or somebody like that.
Did you get your final word?
Is that your final word?
My final word is simple. I've been preaching this on my channel all off season. It's that it's not difficult to be better than the Cowboys were a year ago, running the football and stopping the run. That's it.
That's mine too. Wait a minute, I'm that coach, man. Coach, don't get in your final word, man, and we gonna go back to. Oh, you got your final word.
Then you lie.
The first 7 games is going to be key. I don't want to hear none of the fans talking about I want to see playoffs. We play Baltimore, Super Bowl contender. Play San Francisco, Super Bowl contender. You play Detroit, Super Bowl contender. So don't tell me you have to wait till the end of the season to see where your team is at.
Right.
If we do well against those 3, when I puff out my chest and say, here we come, that's my final word.
My turn. Don't forget about me. My turn. Ring it closer, man. Green Club. Thank you.
Real tight.
Thank you.
Bring it in tight.
So first of all, I want to say this is my first time doing content with you, brother.
Pleasure, sir.
Been long overdue. So I'm always excited to do content with people I see that's doing a good job. You've been doing a great job.
Thank you.
And I like it to be organic. Like, I'm not the type that's gonna get in your DM and, hey man, let's do a show. I like it to be based on how it was today. I meet with you, we drink some water together, maybe drink some beer together, whatever it is. But we get to know each other, we bond, and then once we bond and we talk and maybe debate, or maybe agree, we able to then put that on camera. So I'm excited about that. The second thing I'm excited about, my final word that I'm really, really excited about, the fans came back today.
Amen.
The fans came back today, man.
Boss.
And it taught me something, Law. It taught me something, Landon. Stars matter.
Yes, it do.
Oh, yeah. Stars matter.
CD
Lamb wasn't here.
Good move.
Ghost Town.
Ghost time. Yeah.
Yesterday, you could see it at the start of practice. It did pick up. It picked up, but at the start of practice, one side of the field was horrible. And it was something that Law and I was like, bro, we've been coming to Frisco training camp for years. This is not normal. But when CD Lamb was in the building and CD Lamb was signed, the very next day,
Shoulder to shoulder.
shoulder to shoulder, I couldn't park.
Neither
and
me.
I was early. I was early. So it shows you that the Cowboy Nation, they really take seriously the negotiations with our best players. Jerry, pay attention. Pay attention.
Talk to him.
Because you still got one more.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Get it done.
You got Dak.
Get it done, Jerry.
My final word is you got to get Dak, and then the fans that love this team go then really join as they showed they're here today. They showed it that y'all ain't went nowhere. The fans, y'all haven't went anywhere. Y'all were just mad over Green Bay, but y'all showed me today y'all still love us.
Yeah.
You still in love with these Dallas Cowboys. You just want to believe in us. That's my final word.
No doubt, man. And hey, we didn't have a good time out here. We had a great time. My final word is,
Come on, Law.
hey, with all of this being the Cowboys heading into week 1, the focus and the concentration need to be on Browns.
Yes.
Not the doggone Saints,
Yeah.
Baltimore, the Giants, or whoever we play down, the Browns. Right. And we just got to be victorious and take one day at a time, one step at a time. And everything else will work its way out, Cowboy Nation. I truly believe that we are a playoff team.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But before we get to that, we got to take care of business week 1. TCB in the chat, Cowboy Nation, that's all the time that we have for this beautiful moment. Be sure to thank the Omni. When y'all come out here, maybe next year, this episode will be brought to you by the Omni. It's brought to you by the Omni. Come on with it. So now shut the trigger thing and it shall be established, baby. Come on, baby. So, hey, hit the like, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when it's time. To tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and Beyond with all of my boys here. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. One love, DC for life, not for short. And yeah, you go and show some love, that girl. Yeah, she been holding the camera and everything.
job behind the scenes back there.
Tell them tell them who you are. There you go. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Wait,
DC for life,
I forgot to do that again. Oh, there you go.